All right, we're live. Hey.
Hello, everyone.
We're making it happen.
We're just going to get these other devices set up here. All right, publish. How does this even work? Okay.
All right. Hello, hello. We are here. Thanks for being here.
Is this guy live yet? Not quite.
Not quite.
Live video. Okay. We are. Wait a second. How's everyone doing today? Oh, all right. No. Am I live?
You are.
I'm
Oh, yeah,
live.
that was live.
Oops. That was live. All right. We're professionals here. Let me see. This is upside down now, though.
Oopsie daisy.
Hi, Allie. Oops. Something isn't working. I don't want to report it. Oh, goodness gracious. I might have to finish this and start again. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
This is just too much.
Hello,
Hey,
friends.
everyone. We're just getting our act together over here. Delete. Okay, here we go. Publish.
It's one of those days, one of those
Is
afternoons.
it? I guess it is.
I don't know.
All right.
Thank you guys for being here. This is our Friday show. I see some familiar names out there. Thank you for joining us.
There we go.
We're going to be playing a set of music, lighthearted, upbeat songs for the young and the young at heart here.
All right, Facebook, we're back. This time for real.
I did watch another live stream of a very established musician the other night, and there was like a bit of a comedy of errors with the technical side. It made me feel a little better.
Okay, good.
It happens to the best of us at all levels as we get into this.
All right.
Beekeeper?
That sounds nice.
All right. You want to check the tuning on that? Just make sure you're...
Yeah. I tuned, actually.
Oh, great.
If you can believe it. Oh, hey, Chris. From New Jersey. Where are other people tuning in from? Hi, Vic. Oh, the song Young at Heart. Do you know that song, David?
No,
Hey,
I don't.
Heather.
I know Forever Young. I don't actually. I mean, I know the song. I don't actually know it. I couldn't perform it, but...
I might do it, too.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
I would love that. I would love to hear you do that. Right?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Grass with its fever, the temper of the rain, soft muffled dream, our love decay, fist of bees, buzzing underwater, tethered steer, heart full of slaughter, love's beekeeper, it's a beekeeper, drawing honey from our hearts. I play the young cell sleeper to a fire brimstone preacher. Love assigns us a strange part. My heart failed me, it's powered by broken bellows. Oh, pump organ, its keys age yellow. Just when I need it the most. Reasons as inexplicable as the Holy Ghost. Love's a beekeeper, It's a beekeeper drawing honey from our hearts. I played the auctioneer going cheaper to her anchor plunging deeper. Love signs us such strange parts. Love smoked aside, confusion set in. Bees they sputtered as if drunk on bathtub gin. Wings of ghostly white, little stained glass pictures. Church in a snowstorm turned our hearts bitter. Love's a beekeeper, it's a beekeeper drawing honey from our hearts. I played the waterlogged weeper to a jukebox dreamer. Love signs us such strange parts.
Thank you,
Thanks.
friends.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being here, everyone.
Nice. Oh, hello from England, from Pittsburgh, the Monongahela River. Oh, hey, Chaston. Hi, Harvey. Welcome,
Lovely group
everyone.
gathered from all over.
That was an old song called Beekeeper. My favorite story about that song, I don't know if David likes it that much, but a dear friend asked us to play it at her wedding. And I thought, of course we would play that at your wedding. And David said, I don't know if we can play that at her wedding because it's not actually a love song or it's complicated. And so he sent her the lyrics and really had to confirm that she really wanted it played at her wedding. And she did, in fact.
Well, I think we ended up playing an instrumental version, if I remember correctly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think we might.
All right, we're both right. We did play it, but we didn't sing words. And you feel like that's because she read it and realized that it wasn't really a love song?
I might have made up that story to kind of like make myself, right in this retelling. But
we did sing the song.
I think we did play an instrumental version, but I don't know if that's what she walked down the aisle to. But it's an interesting question. Like, just because, now if somebody asked me to play it, I think I'd be more open to playing it. Because that's kind of a big deal if someone wants you to play a song as they walk down the aisle. I just wanted to make sure she knew what she was asking for, because I think sometimes people love.
That's sort of insulting to her. She's like a real music head too.
I know, but I think that I think you could have misheard some lyrics in there. So I thought it was important to write them down and really see them to make sure it was the right message that she wanted. Because I hear you.
I
know she's a very astute listener, and I do not mean that as any insult to our friend who's a very astute lover of music. And so I hope that's not how it's meant to be.
No. She actually taught me most of what I know about music, I should say.
Did she introduce you to the Neils?
Oh yeah, she introduced me to all the greats.
Oh, nice. We all need friends like that who can introduce us.
Oh yeah, Alison Krauss, Nancy Griffith, Emmylou Harris, Gillian Welch. I really attribute a lot to
this band wouldn't really be without her.
I know. So why didn't we play the song that she wanted at her wedding? Is my question. Oh, cool. Oh, someone's here from Elkton. Hello, Allison. Hey, Diana. All right. Do you have
It's a
an
beautiful
idea
day
for
here,
this
and no, I have no
set?
idea.
No idea.
I'm just.
We're just winging it here.
Yeah.
Do people have songs they'd like to hear? This is sort of a kids themed show, so we try to do. Wait a second.
Kids theme. That seems like that's like we're. This is for the young and the young at heart. That's what I think. I think anyone that's watching that, whether you have kids or are a kid, it doesn't matter. This is for you. This is we think.
As I said, for the kid and all of us. So, all right, let's do it.
Go ahead and pound me with your tiny fist, oh Beatrice. Well, at my scenes, watch me come on stage, oh Beatrice. Heard you coming, I saw you, your dangling wrist, oh Beatrice. Should have gone the other way, towards a rattlesnake's hiss, oh Beatrice. Only let it bloom like a hunger on the tree. If only things were up to me. If only I were current in the rivers and flows where I watch you dip your toes. See na 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 na. Of the hundreds of flowers, I can't tell which is which, oh Beatrice. But they'll make you a dress with a vine for a cinch, oh Beatrice. Tell me, is it merely a will o' wisp, Beatrice? Think I could make you less weeping willowish, oh Beatrice. Only red bloom like a hunger on a tree. If only things were up to me. If only I were fish in the rivers and bends where I watch you slowly waiting. See na 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 na. Have you ever seen a badger? An armadillo kiss? Have you ever watched a sidewinder flail and twitch? Oh Beatrice, Beatrice, Beatrice. Oh Beatrice, is it no? Yes. Once when the moon hung low like this, Beatrice. 2 tamarind trees bent to touch the mist, oh Beatrice. Each love story has an arc of bliss, Beatrice. But will you ride up my cowardice, oh Beatrice? Only let it bloom like a hunger on the tree. If only things were up to me. If only I would stand in the white Moses River where I watched you dry off its shiver. See na 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 na. Oh, thank you.
Is everyone?
Oh, that guitar, it's durable.
Okay.
It's just bumping against some plastic there. It's okay. Don't be worried about that guitar. I take good care of it.
Really get
I take
kind of
such good care of it.
adrenaline shock when the instrument gets bumped. You know, like it feels like my own shin or something. I really owe you. In these, when we play these old songs, there are these kind of strange lyrics, like the choruses change each time, and so we have to really tag team and like give and take, but I've really been just like pausing and letting you take.
You've been a little out to lunch on those choruses. I didn't want to put you on the spot with
I've
everybody
been
watching,
focusing on my great solos.
which have been great. They've been lovely today.
Thanks.
They've been really lovely. No, I mean, I don't. Let's talk about it for a second. Let's get it out in the open and just talk about it a little bit.
Changing choruses?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So some of you may have noticed that in these earlier songs, and we've maybe talked about this before, so excuse me if we have, but every time the chorus comes, which is the part that repeats, that's kind of like the anthemic heart of the song. Every time that happens in these earlier songs, it's different every time.
So does that sound like something you can sing along to pretty easily? No.
Well, I mean, I think what I think is so, I don't want to say brilliant because that would be, no, what I think is interesting as I come back to these songs many years later, is that they all have a part of them that repeats. Like Jalopy Heart,
loves a beekeeper. Okay, so they can sing along that.
So the first half of the chorus.
So everybody here sing along, loves a beekeeper, and then they don't know what to say.
Well,
it changes every time.
No, the next
one. Drawing honey from your heart. Okay, then they don't know what to say.
Yeah, then it gets to be a little bit of a trick because then it changes every time.
Do you still stand by your choice?
Yeah, and I can. I'm happy to talk about it.
All
right. So here's the advice I got, the songwriting advice, and this was from Livingston Taylor, who's a very established musician who's been a lifetime of in the craft of writing songs. So he said, "Listen, David, if the chorus is not just the best chorus ever written, then maybe you need to think about it changing every time it happens, because it better be really good if you're going to keep repeating it throughout the song. Because if you just keep repeating the same thing and it's not that good, that's kind of cheap."
Yeah, but are you saying all the choruses that you've ever written that do repeat every time are the best song ever written? No, you're not going to say that.
No, but I mean, it's different when you're like,
I was born with a broken heart, but my heart sure was broken. You feel
that changes. No, that changes. Singing to me.
Does that change?
Singing to me.
That doesn't change.
Singing to me. I almost wish it would change because it's a lot of singing to me. Let's play it. Let's play it and see what the audience thinks.
That's the crux of the song, though.
I don't know. If you would like to vote on this right now, you can vote. You can say you in favor of choruses that change or choruses that stay the same. That's the simple answer to the question. The answer is obvious, but
yeah, exactly. It is truly obvious, which is why.
But I have made an effort to write songs with choruses that don't change. I have made an effort. I am that young man. I am that young man. I am that young man. That's one where I've made an effort.
I like that.
A lot of Guest House. That record is when you need somebody like I need you. When you need somebody like I need you, then you two will understand. I mean, there was a lot. That record was a very conscious effort to have the most simplest line or phrase exist as the chorus and be able to build enough of a world around the verses and a sonic world around the verses and around the choruses that it could withstand being the same simple phrase every time. So that was I was like, if I'm going to do it, then I'm going to do it right. So that was my attempt.
I feel like, you know what we did for Line of Light, this latest record, I feel like it had a lot of like melodic hook, like la 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 la, like sort of an ooze that had sort of more melodic hooks that people could sing along to. Even if the choruses changed, but they didn't even change that much. I'm thanking my influence on your songwriting to the fact that the choruses don't change as much. All right, so we're going to play Singing to Me.
Is that what we're going to do? Okay, great.
Everybody here wants to please both of us. Okay. It depends. Both are good. All right.
All right. So this is a song called Singing to Me from the Guest House record, where the chorus, as you will notice, is the same phrase repeated again and again. I hope it doesn't get too boring for anybody.
Boring? They're going to be singing along at the top of their lungs in their houses privately.
Please make a video of that if that does happen in your household, so that we can back up her argument. See the lights make you lie. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. They say some hearts miss all the signs. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. 'Cause our eyes lie and my heart stopped. Then I could see you singing to me, singing to me, singing to me. You singing to me. Hundreds of people in the crowd. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Calling out for you, screaming so loud. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. 'Cause I know this is rock and roll. They can't see. Singing to me, 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 singing to me. Chatter in the back, talking over the music. You could sing them cold, but they're refusing. Those words you wrote just for me. Don't deny it. Don't deny it. You stand for love in this world of greed. Don't deny it. Don't deny it. You burn like a sun, not for everyone. Oh, the sweetest thing. You're singing to me, 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 singing to me.
What was that beautiful high chord that just happened? Did you hear it?
It wasn't done on purpose, so I
Did you
don't
hear
know. I think it was just the way that it
It
like.
was like a fairy singing the same chord. It was so pretty.
I just keep a little fairy in here, and sometimes I just turn it on. There's a little fairy. There's this guitar
She was
you
like
kind
playing
of
a
made a
little
fairy.
high harp. That was so
I think you hear
pretty.
that you heard the high note kind of resonate. I didn't mute it. I think.
It's like a little ding. Was it your ring?
Oh, maybe. Yeah,
It was
that
so
would be. That would have
pretty.
been romantic.
It's so pretty.
Oh, thanks everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us here. All right, we're so happy to have everybody gathered here. We're in Charlottesville, Virginia, and we are doing. This is our every Friday. We've been doing these for gosh, this is 8 or 9 weeks in a row now. It feels like, and we love that we get to do this. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us here. We do it at 2 p.m. Eastern, and we try to make it accessible and in mind, in the back of our mind, are all the people that are home with their kids and trying to figure out how to balance it all. And so the first thing that started this was kind of trying to offer something like that. We were finding with our daughter was watching Mo Willems doing doodling every day, and that those first 3 weeks of quarantine with that was such a lifesaver. And
just have the structure of that. Do you all know Mo Willems? He writes those silly books about Elephant and Piggy. Some of us in our house are big fans of them. But he offered this really wonderful art class that's probably still available. But you can kind of draw along with him. It's very
Doodles
sweet.
with Mo Willems.
And in kind of inspired by that and by this idea of what could we offer to fellow parents who are home with kids, I've been starting a video series where I explain different musical ideas in kind of a simple way, and I show the ideas on all the different instruments that I play. So the first one is up right now, and it's free for everyone to look at. They're all free for everyone to look at. The first one's available on our Patreon page, and it's called "What Is a Melody?" Or what
But
is
the larger
melody?
title of the project.
The largest project is called Suze's Museum, spelled with a Z. So stay tuned for more of those.
Many of them are recorded, so we're gonna start putting them up maybe weekly. We'll just put them up once a week. Just kind of put them all up there. We've got a new fan here that just found out of us because of our Instagram chat with Carl Bramel the other day, the guy who produced our newest record, Line of Light. We did this last Tuesday. We played all of this record. Hey Rob, thanks for watching from Wales, friend. We just played all of this record this past Tuesday on our live stream. So if you want to hear the deep dive into that new record, and there's a new documentary that some amazing filmmakers made about that record, and they interviewed us and Carl Bramel and have kind of scenes of us traveling with our kids, because we tour with our 2 kids all over the country and the world, and it's kind of crazy, and it's hard now that we've been home this long. It's almost like it's hard to remember that world that is pre-quarantine world. But thank you for joining us here, Lisa. And so there's a lot. If you want to do a deep dive, there's we're putting a lot of content out there. We're putting a lot of songs and performances. So we'd love for you to get to know all the records as we've been playing all of them. This coming Tuesday, we're going to play a special record that's called Electric Artifacts, and we're going to play all of this record this coming Tuesday.
What did you have in mind? Should I be tuning?
I was thinking of Equal.
Cool.
I thought just something upbeat. We've been kind of like a little more ballad heavy this so far. Oh, how are things going in Wales, Rob? One of the last things we got to do before quarantine was go on a tour of the UK, and we stayed with our friend and played in this incredible town in Wales, in northern Wales, a walled city.
It was basically like living in the whole town was in a castle. It was amazing.
Incredible. All right, I'm wearing a special shirt in case you noticed. Actually, not a shirt. I mean, this is a vest. This is a vest that was made especially for me.
Hand-painted.
And Suze has a matching one that she's.
Why didn't I wear my matching shirt?
I don't know.
You even told me you were going to wear that.
Yeah,
and it never occurred to me to wear the matching. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, maybe next week.
I could go change into it, I suppose.
Our dear friend Nellie Rose made these for us, and she said it was inspired by how our music makes her feel. And she's an incredible textile artist.
She's actually making homemade masks if you're still looking for one. Nellie Rose Textiles is how you can find her.
The town in Wales was Conway, although there was some debate whether it's Conwy or Conway because there's no A in it, like many Welsh words. There's lots of vowels missing. So what did we decide? It was
missing.
Conway or Conwy?
The vowels are not missing.
I'm sorry.
Their language does not have as many.
I stand corrected.
All right, shall we? This song is called Equal in the Darkness. It's off our latest record, Line of Light. 2, 3, 4.
or mindless. Either way, you might disagree. In the shadow of night, drifting, I feel alright again. Sometimes I just wanna fade, far from all the light in me.
Why you wanna be like that? Why you gonna burn the man? No way back, dark as a panther, no way now. You're gonna find the
Doesn't everybody want to live like this? People in the darkness, people in the darkness, people in the darkness. Doesn't everybody want to live like this? Maybe I'm too scared, not sure that I'm prepared to have my secrets out betrayed. Isn't there another way?
Light's the only hope you got, shows you all the things you're not. The sky's so wide, it's measureless. Your heart's not a
Doesn't everybody want to live like this? People in the darkness, people in the darkness, people in the darkness. Doesn't everybody want to live like this?
That was fun. I like that song.
Oh.
So.
All right. Suze, you had something you wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah, I did.
Is it now a good time?
Sure. Yeah. It's always a good time. Are there any kids watching? Will you chime in if there are kids watching? I wanted to let you know that I just realized it was Mental Health Awareness Month, which is a month when we try to learn more about and think about our mental health. And the way I like to think about it is that we split it up in our human language. We say there's physical health, which is like how our body's doing, and if our body is strong and we can walk around and eat and drink normally. And then we have mental health, which is kind of how our thoughts are doing and how our brain is doing. And it's kind of tricky to think about how your brain is doing because your brain is doing the thinking. So it makes it hard to, when your brain is not working well, it's hard to understand that because it's the thinking center. Does that make sense? So it's tricky, and very special doctors called psychiatrists know a lot about our brain and help us feel better if our brain's not working well. And I wanted to talk to the kids in particular about an idea that I've been thinking about lately about our brain and our thoughts as a garden. I've been doing lots of gardening, and I think we all know that we can have kind of scary thoughts or bad thoughts or thoughts that make us not feel that good. And I like to think of those as the weeds. And we have to be a really careful gardener. And when we have those thoughts that sort of come into our head and we feel scared by them, or they don't make us feel good, we can be the gardener and we can pick them out and say, not now. Or as our daughter said, we can send them to the back of the line. And it doesn't mean they'll never come back. And you're not trying to get rid of weeds forever. That would be impossible. There are always weeds that pop up in any garden, and that's fine. But we do try to plant the things that we want to plant, like the flowers and vegetables that we want to grow. And in our minds, that might be things that we want to study or learn about or focus on, or projects we want to do. Those are all things that we can cultivate as a gardener might do, and water those flowers. And when we see weeds come in of these thoughts that keep coming back, I don't even need to name them. You all have your own kind of scary thoughts or strange thoughts that you don't care as much about, that you can just pull them out like weeds and just keep tending those good thoughts. So I'm gonna in each of our live streams, I'm gonna try to talk about some little thing about mental health that I've been thinking about, and that's what I wanted to share with you today. Hi, Jenny.
Yeah, do you wake up and dream? Or something Mexican upbeat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something Mexican upbeat sounds nice.
Let's mix it up.
All right.
Accordion. Shall we switch?
Sure.
Yo quisiera y no quisiera, y no sé si usted quiera, y no sé si usted quiera. Yo quisiera y no quisiera que mojara tu pañuelo, que me dieras la mitad. Yo quisiera y no quisiera, y no sé si usted quiera. Ahora acaba de calor, ahora las tardes me toma acá. Como dicen que lo ganan y lo bailan las escuelas para toda americana. De noche me mata frío, madrugada es terreno, de madrugada es terreno. De noche me mata frío, frío de lo mío, para todo ya lo vengo. De noche me mata frío, de madrugada es terreno. Ya me voy a despedir, ya me voy para Acapulco, ya me voy para Acapulco, ya me voy a despedir. Así terminan los versos de este sol al Agualuco, ya me voy a despedir, ya me voy para Acapulco. Por acá de agarrar, de las tardes de Cumacán, como dice que la calle la bailan las mujeres bailadoras mexicanas. Por acá de agarrar, con la balas tardes de Cumacán, como dice que la calle la bailan las mujeres bailadoras mexicanas. All right, thank you so much. Oh, thank you for joining us here. It is a beautiful day here in Charlottesville, Virginia. We just had 24 hours of rain, so it's particularly
4 days of rain. It's been so rainy.
it's been a lot of rain, so it's particularly sweet to have such a wonderful day here. Good day for gardening. A good day for playing a show. The attic's not too hot yet because it's been so cool around here. But it sure makes a difference when during the quarantine, when it's a beautiful weather and you can get outside. So I wish warm weather for many of you, wherever you are watching this from, so you can get outside. We are going to play something else, but I don't know what. Yeah, what about if I grabbed the Julia?
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yeah,
Give me a
that
second
sounds
here.
good. Yeah. Hmm. Kids out there, do you know a band called the Beatles? That's a favorite band of David's, and I realized that we must have had. I can't remember if we had a cassette tape of the Beatles, like I don't know, hits of theirs or something. We didn't. I don't think we had different albums, but we had various cassette tapes that I listened to as a little kid, and I have this one memory of riding my bike with the big banana seat. It was a Sea Princess bike. It said Sea Princess on it, and I remember singing Yesterday really loud and kind of like feeling nostalgic. I was so young. I didn't really have much to feel nostalgic about, but I just love that song. But I love this one too. It's called Julia, and I'm going to play it for you. I'm playing something.
Okay. Half of what I say is meaningless, but I say it just to reach you, Julia. Julia, ocean child calls me, so I sing a song of love, Julia, seashell eyes, windy smile calls me, so I sing a song of love, Julia. Her hair of floating sky, shimmering, glimmering in the sun. Julia, Julia, morning touch me, so I sing a song of love, Julia. When I cannot sing my heart, I can only speak my mind, Julia. Sleeping sand, silent cloud, touch me, so I sing a song of love, Julia. Calls me, so I sing a song of love, Julia, Julia, Julia. Thank you, friends. Diana said her first concert was the Beatles.
That's
Amazing.
so rad. Oh my
Wow.
gosh. 8th grade.
I feel like I rarely get hear
Wow.
someone saying they actually got to see the Beatles. It was such a short window that they played together, toured America. You know,
What do you have a single memory you could share with us, Diana, from that?
wow. Summer going into 8th grade. That sounds like an incredible time to get to see the Beatles.
Wow.
Love it.
My first huge stadium show was Dave Matthews Band.
Well, that seems appropriate. You're from
Unsurprisingly.
Charlottesville. Dave's from Charlottesville. My first show, real stadium show was probably James Taylor.
Wow.
That was pretty good one, Mom and Dad. You guys nailed it. I mean, we also went and saw some stuff I'm not super proud of, so I'm not going to mention it, but that was I remember maybe even early, like the sit down, nice, fancy concert we went to, Judy Collins with my grandma, my mom and my grandma. I remember.
You were pretty young.
I was pretty young. That's From a Distance. I love that song. Song. Judy Collins did so many amazing songs.
That song?
I don't think she wrote it, but she just did an incredible version of it. Wow.
All
right. Guys, here we are.
Oh, we still have time for a couple more. Let's see.
Yeah, great. All right.
Should we do something about the new record? Oh, we did.
Uncover. I was kind of thinking.
That sounds good.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Thank you for being here. This is our Friday live stream for the young and the young at heart, coming to you from Charlottesville, Virginia. It was kind of exciting when I saw our friend Rob watching from Wales, and I was thinking about kind of one of the amazing things about our life that we've been very fortunate in is that we've gotten to travel all over, and we've started, playing. There was one of the milk carton kids was joking about socially distanced concerts, and they're like, that doesn't concern me because that's all we did for the first several years of our band. We're socially distanced concerts. Just like we can relate to that, with people spread out in a large space, very few tables occupied, and so we've been at this a long time, and I think that you kind of do it and you go out there in the world in the early days, this very DIY kind of scrappy way, and you kind of just like get out there in the world and you try to bring your music and connection to other people, and sometimes there's very few people there and sometimes there's a lot, and you just never know kind of what the kind of magic of music is. You never know what the effect it has on other people, like what the ripples are, or what, you plant all these seeds, going back to the gardening metaphor. And so if you're fortunate enough, you get to like go back and see kind of what those seeds become sometimes. And so when we went to the UK in our early days and we planted a bunch of seeds, and then it took us a while to get back, by the nature of just having kids and kind of how touring works. And so that first time we went over, we met this amazing guy, Rob Kennedy, and we just were playing like at this little cider pub on the southern coast of England. And this,
it was like the oldest pub in England, like built in God knows what century. It was incredible.
And so it was an incredible experience. Like that alone would have been a beautiful thing to have. But then the fact that we make this friend who then, goes, like, stays in touch with us, writes us, like brings his friend to the show who's in this large band in England that invites us to play at their festival and brings us back to England. And then like we're going back to England, he's like, I'm going to make a show happen for you. I'm going to promote the show and make it happen in this beautiful town I live in, and to like host us and bring us in this beautiful village and like get the whole community together for the show. It's just kind of like, it's so heartening for us to know that kind of we like make these connections and then get to kind of see what comes of that connection. And it could be something that could change our life. We never know kind of and I think with these shows too, there's an element of like, we're just putting this out there. And there's this vision I have of like when we go back on tour and then somebody comes and they're like, I saw every one of your live streams and it meant this to me. And, or some kid who's watching right now is like, my parents made me watch every live stream for kids, and now I'm a big fan, and it's 20 years later. And, it's just kind of an amazing thing about music is that.
Annalise, we're looking at you.
Well, she is a fan already. It's not even, we played her birthday party there on Zoom the other day. So
Zoomed in live streamed for 3 songs for a birthday party for a 10-year-old. Sorry, I'm blanking on how old you are.
7.
7. Oh, she's only 7.
Our
Right.
daughter's age.
Oh, sorry, Annalise, you just seem so mature. A 7-year-old's birthday party. That's the kind of thing we get to do right now. It is so sweet. If you need your birthday party zoomed in for, let us know.
And cover the gold? That sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Ready? Come on.
Hey, we don't really.
Oh.
I'm just wrong tuning. Sorry, friends.
right, this is the first song from our newest record, and some very sweet comments. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for all the very, very sweet comments and emails and the generous tips.
I know
We
the
really-
messages we're getting from people are so beautiful. I wish we could share them.
1, 2, 3, 4. I refuse to live in fear. Won't give them what they want. Path ahead's not clear. Through the trees I see the sun. Though the darkness here is deep and the raging beasts run wild, even they must sleep. That's when we'll move, my child. Every day is a day. Every mountain just a small hill. Something washes away. It uncovers the glow. Every day is a day. Every mountain just a small hill. Something washes away. It uncovers the glow. So now we make a ring that the shadows cannot cross. There are names that we won't speak as the stars turn on and off. And here's my prayer for you. When the light is at its weakest, that you'll find something true, that you will know life's sweetness. Every day is a day. Every mountain just a small hill. Something washes away. It uncovers the gold. Every day is a day. Every mountain just a small hill. Something washes away. It uncovers the gold. Thank you, friends. Maybe a last colacito.
Sure.
Finish up. All right. Thank you, friends.
Thanks for tuning in from coast to coast and across the ocean. You're gonna wait on your drafts comments?
Yeah. Colas, y Nicolás. Headed to Chile, you never got across. You couldn't get out of Mexico, you got in. You wanna have a baby and she'll be a Mexican. Back home in Manking, you've never been doing, but now I'm going to the baby blues. Back home you. Never been known for now, knows of the Mary Cruz. Nicolas, Nicolas. Headed to Chile, but you never got a kiss. You get out of Mexico, you got it. Now you're gonna have a baby, and she'll be a Mexican. Margarita, kissing of young one. Once you see somebody's to be one. Margarita, kissing of young one. Once you see somebody's to be one. Nicolas, Nicolas. Headed to Chile, but you never got a cross. Now you took it out of Mexico, she got it. Now you're gonna have a baby, and she'll be a Mexican. Shooting stars fell from the sky. Baby, come to find the middle us. Shooting stars fell from the sky. Baby, come to find the middle us. Nicolas, Nicolas. Headed to Chile, but you never got a cross. Now you took it out of Mexico, but you got it. Now you're gonna have a baby, and she'll be a Mexican. Porque no puedo más, esa chica por cantar no le puede degolar. Aquí me despido porque no puedo más, esa chica por cantar no le puede degolar. Nicolas, Nicolas. El que Chile, but you never got a cross. You got a Mexico, she got it. You gonna have a baby, to be a Mexican. Nicolas, Nicolas. El que Chile, but you never got a cross. You got a Mexico, she got it. You gonna have a baby, to be a Mexican. Thanks, friends.
Oh, thanks for tuning in, everybody, on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. It's so fun. You all, there are so many of you on all these different
Platforms.
viewing options. Hey, Danny, love you too. Oh, I don't mind being a beautiful pokey, Danny, but thanks. We'll be back Sunday night for our chill stream, our chill and romantic songs, and
Date night.
Oh, date night.
Sunday date night.
Totally.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
This is gonna be date night. It's gonna be the most romantic of the romantic songs. And Tuesday we're gonna be playing all of this album, Electric Artifacts, without the shrink wrap. It's kind of a collection of songs from all the different records. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be that good. What else? Anything else to mention? Check out Suze's Museum. That's my little music education series. It's over on patreon.com/David Wax Museum. It's silly but informative. It's fun. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll see you next week.
See you soon.
All right. Adios.